Hi, good morning, everyone. We have Mrs. Jyotsna Durvasla with us today. She's the principal of CGR International School. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Sakshi. Pleasure to be there with you.
It's an honor to have you on our platform today. The whole reason that we are doing this discussion today is to understand the challenges of the shift or the change in the exam format for class 10th and 12th students. So the examination format has changed for the board examinations. It has gone from we used to have one single board, right? End of the year, one annual board, but now it's become two terms and there are multiple changes around it. So I think the first thing we could start off with is to just understand what are the changes that have been implemented in the board
Right.
examination format.
Yeah, sure. So I think the first major change you've already mentioned is typically we are used to having one annual year-end examination. So for this year, for the first time, we are going to have two examinations. So it is called the term one assessment and the term two assessment. All right. And what CBSE has done is they have rationalized the syllabus in the sense that they have distributed the curriculum equally, 50% of it in term one and 50% of it in term two. So the biggest change is that they will have a mid-year examination called the term one examination that will be conducted by the CBSE. The question paper will come from CBSE as against traditionally schools used to have half-yearly exams and they would be conducting the exam. It would be an internal exam, but now it is an external exam. And the center, we do not know whether we will have outside centers or the school will be the center, but we will have external superintendents, external observers. All right. So there will be people from CBSE. So we will be going to other school investigators will be coming to our school to ensure that it is conducted with, we follow the necessary protocol that we do in the board year-end examination. We will carry it forward in the term one examination also. So the first major change is the number of exams. So the children will have two exams. The weightage will be shared later. CBSE has not given the details right now. So that is the first part of it. Second, it is a kind of an examination. Traditionally, what used to happen is till last year, we used to have a mix around, we would have 20 MCQs and the remaining paper would be a mix of very short answers, then lengthy answers, case-based studies. So the remaining part of it, out of 80, 60 would be coming from these questions. But this year, they have completely changed the pattern. And I think, I don't know, I mean, they've not given the reason, but I think as a principal that it is very, if it is a virtual exam, if it is an online exam, it is very easy to use unfair means for a child in a subjective exam. So so I think they have kind of set up a rigorous model for us so that as educators and principals, we take up, education seriously, ensure good learning, and children also have no opportunity to misuse. There will be some students who will try to do all these things. So I think MCQs leave you with very little scope for using unfair means. So the term one exam is completely MCQs. It is for 90 minutes. And the number of questions will vary from subject to subject. It could be 50, it is in the range of 55 to 50. So the marks allocated are 40 for every subject as of now. That is how it is. So each question, depending on the number of questions in that particular subject, so some questions are not even for 1 mark. It's like 0.88, 0.65, 0.77. That is a little surprising, of course, but in order to reach the total of 40, they have set up this kind of a format. So that is the next big thing, because a complete question paper based on MCQs is something different. These MCQs could be coming from two types of questions. One could be, you could have the assertion and reasoning. The assertion and reasoning is, I feel one of the trickiest part of the exam. So you're given a statement and then you're given multiple answers that both the assertion and the reason is correct, or the assertion is correct but the reason is incorrect. So children need to understand the areas of their syllabus which demand reasoning. The topics based on reasoning, they should be very thorough. So unless they are thorough, they will not be able to attempt these questions, because If you are not well prepared, it is very tough. It's very confusing for the child. So therefore, a thorough understanding of the concept, reasoning based part of this syllabus and curriculum is very important. Remaining, so this is for the part one. So I will just dwell a little longer about the MCQ. MCQs are the biggest mistake children make is it seems simple because all the options are there. At the end of the day, you have to just choose one and there is no negative marking.
Yeah.
So unlike competitive exams, so while it sounds simple, MCQs are not simple. I think there's this idiom, that the devil lies in the details. And I think the MCQs are based on that. You have to you have to go through the entire portion very thoroughly, because you don't know which proverb, some data could become a possible question. So a child has to read extensively. Your NCERT textbook from the first page to the last page has to be dealt with very thoroughly. All right, so that is the first part. The second thing is that I think options may be very close in MCQs. That is the other thing. Just to confuse the child, they may have two very close options. So unless you are sure, you will not be able to attempt it.
Absolutely.
In math, you will actually have to actually solve the sum to be able to understand that which option is correct. Okay. So the other thing is sometimes just as trick questions they have some as I told you some statements or facts which could just confuse the child. So the whole idea is to test a child who's really well prepared.
Right.
Who doesn't just appear well prepared but is actually well prepared.
I think that's one of the I think that happens to be one of the things that's making students also very anxious, because back in the day we had subjective questions. You could write something, even if you don't get to the final answer or hit the nail on the head, you could write something and maybe get 1 mark or half a mark or 2 marks on lengthy questions, subjective questions. But in multiple choice questions, you don't have that option. There's no gray area anymore. It's either a black or a white. It's either correct or incorrect. So
absolutely, that is a problem. Students have to really prepare well, robust preparation, timely preparation. Otherwise, as you said, in subjective, even if you just attempt it and write something, you have 1 or 2 keywords, you will gain something. But in MCQs, it's either a 0 or a complete. That's the problem.
Absolutely. And just like you mentioned, reasoning also is making students a little stressed about this whole shift in pattern, because we are moving away from rote learning. I think that's primarily the driving objective, like you mentioned, to move into MCQ, and that and including reasoning as part of the entire exam pattern now. So rote learning doesn't complete or does the job anymore. You have to conceptually understand what every topic is about.
Very true, Sakshi. I think the new education policy is going to come into place from the coming academic session in phases. But what CBSE has done is that they're not waiting to implement it. They have started moving, because the change, there are all kinds of CBSE schools across the country, and so what happens is there's really big schools with great infrastructure, facilities, fantastic teachers, and then you have the smaller schools also. Okay. So what they're doing is that they've started, guiding us towards the new education policy. So from rote learning we are moving to competency-based education. So CBE is the mantra for the new education policy. So there was a time if you could just memorize well, you would fare well in exams, So it was more a test. It was a formative assessment. You've learned something. Now we are going to assess you on what you have learned. However, CB is different. This is learning for, this is assessment for learning. That is the difference. It is not summative, it is diagnostic. You are using assessment as a tool to understand whether a child has understood a particular thing or not. And you are supposed to go back to it. And if you see a good number of children are still not clear about a certain concept, you have to go back to that particular topic, revisit that, and ensure that your children. So you are absolutely right. Rote learning is going to be a thing of the past very soon.
Absolutely. Ma'am, I would now want to, delve into the challenges that the teachers are facing. There is obviously a lot of administrative things that have come up with the shift, from physical learning or learning, teaching happening in a physical space to a completely virtual system because of the pandemic situation. But now with the shift in the exam pattern, there are additional responsibilities or additional things that the teachers have to do to make sure the students are prepared. Now, during our time, we used to have last 10-year papers to prepare, right? But this year, students don't have that advantage, unfortunately. But teachers are doing their bit. They're preparing quizzes, whether it's lesson wise, topic wise, or it's a complete mock test paper to be done. So I just wanted to understand the role that tech or ready mock test material, test series could play to help teachers and students navigate the situation.
See, definitely, as you said, the first major challenge was the technicality of it. But now we are all, very well settled in the sense we are all very comfortable with using technology. But as you said, with this complete shift especially the term one exam. So the problem is that this is slated. The first term exam is slated to take place in November or December, is what the board says. So the 4 to 8 weeks will be given to roll out the exact dates and all that, region wise and all that. So my fear is that most teachers and principals will have to fend for themselves, because we don't have that. It's already September now. So of course, MCQs are here to stay, and it's not just about this year. I think they are going to be there in the future also. So definitely, it would be a welcome addition for if you have a question bank. Definitely it would help the teachers. Right now they are using their understanding of MCQs to develop their own MCQs, sharing MCQs. They have fellow colleagues who are working in other schools, so we swap questions or something like that. And of late, some companies have started sharing some content in terms of MCQs also. The board has released some sample questions. The CBSE also is very active. It's so they have uploaded sample question papers on their CBSE website. So most schools are logging into CBSE to just see what's the pattern of assessment. But yes, there is a big market out there for such things. The only I think concern that I often face is how good is a product. Till you use it, you don't really understand the authenticity of the product. So yes, as you said, this year we don't really have question banks. There is scope for that.
Okay, that's really interesting, because we did speak to a couple of other educationists to understand the challenges and, of course, the role that the new products or the organizations which are offering solutions for this that can play. And while it is overwhelming for teachers and students both, I think just having a set of questions or a question bank or some mock test series would definitely aid the preparation. So
definitely, because right now they are more or less doing it on their own without much help. Yeah. So if anything comes in over a period, there we are going to have a repository of the work that we have done. But we are always supported. Even before this, when we had the annual board exams, as you said, we used to have question banks and OSWA, like so many standard question banks over the years have been coming down. So now, same way, there would be a requirement for such things, because teachers are so busy teaching, corrections, additional responsibilities in school. They're not just teachers, they're shouldering many other responsibilities. CBSE initiatives are being taken very seriously. So already some product that could actually address that concern would definitely be offered.
Excellent. Ma'am, your insights have been really, really helpful. But before we close the session, any tips or suggestions for the students who are appearing for their board exams today? Words of encouragement.
Absolutely. I actually, often, when I talk to the students, in the initial months, we are a little firm when the session gets started, but we switch gears. I think comes October, not come September, but when come October, and we are, and we're more supportive. We have to be very supportive, because we don't know what each child's journey has been. the virtual medium has made it a little difficult for them to stay focused, to stay on task, to comprehend. So I think a big shout out to all the teachers who've been doing this remarkable work of keeping them engaged in these tough times. And I think my teachers also have really worked very hard to do this. But having said so, it is a time to think how the children have been feeling during this while. They're inside homes, they're not playing, they're not meeting their friends. They are so very unnatural work atmosphere, for them. An adolescent child to be, however much you love your parents, to be, 24/7 with your parent and being monitored or mentored by them with even if it's your keeping your best interest in mind, is a tough situation for children. So definitely we discuss this, and we are, that's why, being extremely supportive and very all schools and all teachers have to be extremely supportive and kind, and they have to actually students should feel free to share their concerns. There's a counseling website on CBSE. Teachers have to take this up. But coming to the children, I think I have always maintained that consistency in preparation is very important. We are now looking at a kind of examination that is going to assess your essential understanding of the subject or the language. So you can't start preparing a few days in advance, So consistency, you must have some kind of a schedule, attend your classes regularly, whatever your teachers or educators are asking you to do, go about it. And have some kind of a schedule for yourself that, every day I'm going to do this much. Some kind of a plan for yourself, a micro and a macro plan for themselves. It could be, they could ask the teachers if this is good enough. So if they're doing a little bit every day, it will not be overwhelming for them just before the exam. Typically, I always go to the board center when they have the exam, and I see day one, they are very stressed. So now also it will not be any different. And they're going to come to school after, 1.5, 2 years, it's going to be even more stressful. So consistency every day. And if you have not been able to do, even now is a good time. What is lost cannot be gained. But I think now this moment is important. So get started now. Make a plan for the remaining. Even now it is September. Well, you have maybe 2 more months. So you can, we have already done. Attend your revision classes very diligently. Most teachers are taking up extensive revision. It is like you are almost teaching the topics all over again. If for some reason you could not attend, make it a point. Since many schools have blended learning, we have offline and online classes. So if you are in the online mode, make sure your camera is on, make sure your teacher can see you. Because when you have a doubt and you have a blank expression on your face, or you're looking doubtful, your teacher can gauge that. She can, catch hold of your that expression and ask you to feel free to share your concern. So the revision classes and your use technology, don't shy away from turning your camera on. It is going to be very important in helping you stay focused in the class. And we are doing actually in our school, like we're doing a lot of MS forms which have multiple choice questions. So we are just chapter wise sending them so we can do n number of MS forms. So you have to just choose the right answer. As I said, it seems easy, but now so suppose I do just 10 questions in a day. I do half a chapter a day. They will be able to stay focused, but then you have to take the initiative to submit the form. We are sharing all that matter and content, but some children don't feel may not submit it. That's the other thing. Secondly, we have 20 marks allotted for internal assessment. So children this year should not particularly take it easily, because you don't know the weightage of the internal assessment. Tomorrow, suppose both the assessments in the term two, coming to the, I didn't mention that term 2 would be a mix of short answers, lengthy answers, case-based studies, everything. But and the actual weightage of term 1 and term 2 will be decided later. Depending on the virtual one will get lesser weightage, and the physical exam would get more weightage. So suppose both are end up as online exams, in which case the internal assessments would also carry weightage. So whatever projects, whatever submissions are there, take them seriously, so that you get a 5 on 5 on that internal assessment, on that internal submission, that project. Your lab records, all those things would also carry weightage. So I think your portfolio would be very important. So because that, as of now, it's 20 marks. We don't know. I mean, suppose both the exams are virtual, then this will become more important. So this is the other aspect which children tend to take it a little lightly. They don't understand the significance of this. So if you want to grade them well on that, they would have to also take it up a little seriously. So consistency, in-depth preparation. Your NCERT book, I feel, is your Gita, Bible, Quran. From the first word to the last word, understand, read with understanding, and I think you would be good to go for both the term 1 exam and the term 2 exam. So you just have to understand what is being done. And schools are coming up with pre-final exams and revision tests and all that. They will help you understand where you are as of now. So don't shy away from taking those tests. It just gives you a good understanding of where you are, your areas of improvement, all those things. So I think, in short, if you just show more faith in what your educators are doing for you, what your principals are doing for you, it would definitely lead to success. And in my opinion, every student is already, I think, a winner, because I think they have gone through a phase in history that no one, very soon it will get over. So they are a part of history. They are those classes that have, they have appeared for the boards during the pandemic. So I think they have already, unique and one of a kind. So they could, just have more faith in their abilities and not give up and just keep at it. And I'm sure they will all do well. I mean, so just these 2-3 pointers, if they bear in mind, I think every school and every teacher is talking about it with every student, but I think they need a lot more understanding from the school to be able to brave this, because this is something new in the history of CBSE. We've not had this kind of an exam in the middle of the year with MCQs and all that. So that fear factor is there. We just need to make the children feel very comfortable, and just reassure them that with continued support from the school and family, they would be able to ace it.
Lovely. Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm sure your words of encouragement will help a lot of students navigate these stressful times. Like you said, this has never happened before. And again, just to reiterate your points only, a quick note to everyone who's listening in. Be consistent with your preparation. Practice the actual format of the question paper which you would be facing in your term 1 examinations or term 2 examinations whenever it hits you. Make sure that you're taking all your assignments seriously, because everybody is navigating this time. It's uncertain for everyone, and how things might change, what would carry more weightage later, you might not know. So take each of your assignments seriously, and all the best.
Absolutely, I think, and a good dose of luck for all those children.
Absolutely.
But I think there's nothing to worry. I'm sure this is not the time to stress out a child, so the papers will not be unreasonably tough. But yes, we have to do justice to those children also who have worked very hard. So definitely there will be questions that will separate the cream from the milk, but just, I think, take each day as it comes and do your bit, and very soon you would be done with the year. So that's it. Thank you so much, Sakshi. It was a pleasure interacting with you, and I hope that you got whatever you wanted to.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to have you with us today.